Hello, peeps. Well, as much as I do love some lace, it's simply too cold today for lace. So we're all hoodied up to stay warm. It's very cold here in New England. This week's been very interesting weather-wise, for sure. It's also been a beautiful week working with the energy of Ma Kali through the diadem of protection. And this video is going to be an updated review, a further down the path of working with the pocket edition of the Kali Oracle. So I'm going to show you some images from the deck while I talk about how I'm working with this deck a year down the road since our last experience with Kali in our intensive, and how I've experienced working with it this week. I've been really intrigued in seeing those of you who are participating and are sharing on social media what you've been drawing, repeats of specific cards. A lot of those cards talking about offering protection, but also helping us to allow situations to end that need to in our life. So just in case you are new to the pocket editions of Alana's decks, the front of the card contains an image, and the back of the card contains what I kind of consider like a blessing or an affirmation. That's a summation of the guidebook meaning of the card in the big guidebook. The cards are much smaller, so typically the cards are around the size of like the Blue Angel Alice in Wonderland Oracle, and you see the difference here. So they're very easy to carry with you. They come with a nice box that again travels very well. So these decks are really nice when you need that nice quick hit of a message from the Sacred Feminine. And I've been using this as daily draws on the channel and on Instagram if you are participating in the workshop, because it is nice to get that compact, insightful, clear-cut message from Ma Kali as we move about our days. It also helps to grow and foster that connection with Kali too. So I think for me, and I don't say this lightly, but having both the full-size edition and the pocket edition is a must-have for me in my collection. Number one, personally, I turn to them for different things. So I turn to the larger edition when I really want to go in depth with my message from Kali and with my culling of wisdom and distillation of the messages coming through from her, using the deck as a tool for her voice. And I tend to do a lot of journaling when I work with the larger edition. The pocket edition, I just draw from personally during the day when I need a message from Kali, when I need her insight or her guidance, or I need an affirmation or a sense of support and not being alone. I need that sense of sisterhood or family that only Kali can afford me. That is when I will pull from this deck. And I use this professionally in readings with clients to give a blessing, a prayer, and an affirmation, a benediction, if you will, to finish and cap off the reading. I always find that these pulls can just, again, distill the message down that's come through in the reading for the client, so they have something concrete that they can come back to and carry as a mantra, if you will, to assist them going forward on their path. And so this deck is really special for that too. So just from a work perspective as a priestess, this deck is really powerful and important for that. And while I have not done so since COVID, because I don't offer in-person trainings as I did before COVID, my trainings are largely online now, but I can see this very easily being a deck that you have out on an altar space in a training or a workshop where everyone can pull and receive an insightful message from the Sacred Feminine. That's also something they could take a quick snapshot of with their phone and then carry outside of that workshop or training. So from a professional perspective as a priestess, I think this deck has a lot of uses. It's worth the investment of money. I think this was $16 or $17 on Amazon. I love the artwork in the Kali Oracle and the Isis Oracle. And this is also another way to just connect with beautiful artwork. Whenever I just need to take a moment and just be, you know, I can just pull this deck out and just rifle through the cards, look at the artwork, sit with what I'm called to. I'm someone who personally aesthetically is very drawn to blacks, reds, and blues, and this deck is laden with those tones. So it's just something that aesthetically is very pleasing to me as well. It's a very personal deck for me. It's a very loving deck. You can probably hear Gracie snoring in the background. And it's one that I feel very blessed to be able to have as part of my collection. I'm very grateful that Blue Angel or Alana, whoever made the choice to do this, followed through on this idea, because I think it's a very impactful deck. And so if you already have the Kali Oracle, I do think this is still an investment and a purchase that you're going to see a return on for sure. If you have to make a choice, I would still go with the full size, because you get the whole experience with the full size, and there's more opportunity to really hunker down and get a lot of meat off the bone with that deck. Whereas this is short, simple, sweet, to the point, and beautiful. And it's more like that, you know, quick hit of caffeine when you need it. So to me, if you have to choose between the two, I'd still go with the full size edition. But if you're able to have both options in your collection, I definitely think it's worth it. I really, really love the pocket editions of almost all of Alana's decks. This one and the Isis Oracle Pocket Edition are probably my favorite of the pocket editions. I'm sure that's no surprise for many of you long-term viewers on the channel. But this one is very, very special. Again, there's just such a sense of sisterhood and support and presence from Kali. And this little beautiful pocket edition gives you such an experience of feeling connected to her, even in those moments when you're very busy and you don't have the ability to sit down and do a 30-minute journal session with a deck. This is going to still give you that experience of connection and support with her, and allow you to feel empowered and clearer on your own path and the decisions you have to make in your personal life as well. So I highly recommend the Kali Oracle Pocket Edition if you're considering purchasing it. And I can say now, having worked with this deck for a long time, that this is definitely one of those decks that grows with you on your path, and that you can bring into your path even as it evolves and changes and grows. I hope you all are doing well out there in the world. If you're participating in Diadem of Protection, I hope you are having a powerful experience with Ma Kali this week. And I am sending you, as always, much love and many blessings. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.